Hopefully, this is now working. If not, it could be quite embarrassing. I'm going to be sitting here on my own with no one watching. But we shall see. If you're there, if anyone is watching this, can you pop it in the chat just to say that you're there? And aha, Jason Edwin, hello. How are you? I don't normally do live streams, so I thought I'd give it a go, and didn't know if anyone would be here. So I feel a little bit better now that I've got at least one person watching. So if anyone is out and about, please let me know and say hello. I'm just going to quickly pop onto Instagram and let people know I'm on as well. So hopefully I have more than just 3 or 4 of us here, but we shall see. I haven't really got a plan for today, what I'm going to talk about. I did have, I've got a few bits. I've got a little bit of a haul I can share, I guess, and then I can, if you've got questions, you can ask me questions, and I'll go through those. I can talk about ideas of how I try and make my time and my efforts work for me, eBay wise, because I do worry about a lot of people not always thinking about things before they actually buy their pickups. Okay, I've got some thumbs up in here from George Pryor as well. Hello. I think I do worry that some people are get caught up in the fun of buying stuff and don't always think through the business side of it as well. So I could talk about that maybe a bit as well. But if you've got any subjects you want to hear about, just pop something in the chat, let me know, and I'll go through it. In the meantime, I need a beer, so I've got a bit of a random one today. That way. Mallow Laser Quest, whatever the hell that is. So apparently it's marshmallow, pineapple, and a hazy IPA. So we shall see. Hello, Sam's Adventures. It is a nice surprise because I think this is the second live I've ever done. So yeah, it could be interesting. It could be absolutely terrible. I'm just going to pop something on Insta just to let people know I'm here. So I'm not very good at typing and talking at the same time, but I will try and make it this vaguely interesting. But we shall see. As you can see, I can't type and talk at the same time. Right. I guess I can start off with a little bit of a haul. Actually, I'm going to pour my beer first and see how that goes. But I've got a little bit of a haul, and I'll hopefully have a few more people in and see how it is. Lol, good luck with that beer. It's a bit of a random name, so right, let's give it a test. That's really nice. That is not bad. Right, I feel a bit better now. We've got 20 people in now watching, so I don't feel like a complete plum on my own. And thank you, Jason, George, Sam, and UK Reseller for popping in some bits in the chat. I don't feel quite so alone. What have I got then? A couple of random bits. I picked them up a couple of months ago, and I've just had them sitting in the conservatory. Haven't got round to listing them, and to be honest, I'd completely forgotten I had them. So I shall go through a few bits. Clothing and shoes, so nothing interesting for everybody. England shirt, always worth a go. And I paid $5 for that. Not entirely sure what England shirts go for at the moment, but what I'll probably do is hold that back for next time that there's any sort of international stuff going on. But I would have thought that's got to be a good easy 25 quid, probably more. It's not the sort of thing I typically pick up, but when it's in good condition and it's a genuine one for a £5, it has to be worth that. Monkey Thrifter, hi Peter, how you doing? What was that? Good evening, Lee. What bean is it? Oh, what beer is it? What beer is it? It's a Brewdog. I quite like a Brewdog, and it's Mallow Laser Quest. So marshmallow and pineapple IPA. So it's quite a hazy one, but quite a nice one. All right, got another cracking pickup. This one isn't one that how do I know the name? And there's a discount shopping centre near us. It's a real high-end place called Bista, and it's all, you know, stuff like Dior, Burberry, all of the high-end brands. And I remember seeing this brand here before. It's Anne Fontaine. Now, this is just a black linen shirt. Doesn't look anything fancy. That shirt is about £200 new. So just by knowing your brand, so I'll show that again. That's Anne Fontaine. And I paid £3.50 for that one. That is a cracking shirt. Second-hand value, probably somewhere around the £40 to £70 mark, depending on condition and style. But that, very, very happy. So if you ever see Anne Fontaine out and about, that is definitely one to keep an eye out for. I think in the 2.5 years that I've been a reseller, I think that's the first one that I've seen. So, and you know what I'm like, I'm the sort who I don't care if that's listed for a year, 2 years. I price it high and let it sit, and when it sells, it sells. There's a lot of black stuff today. Right, I've got another one here, and this is a company called American Vintage. Now, American Vintage is just a jumper. It's nothing fancy. It's a cotton silk mix. What is it? Cotton polyamide and silk. Sweater. Again, that's another £120 new. So again, when something's £120 new and I can pick it up for £3.50, that is profit all day long. So again, secondhand, I should be able to get anywhere between 35 and 65, depends on the style. And this is a bit plain, so you may not get as much for that. But I've sold some American vintage stuff before, and I've sold, even it was just like a skinny vest, and I think I sold that for 28 quid for like a skinny little cotton vest. So I'm very, very much still focused on the bangers, the high profit items, and seeing where it goes. Is anyone reacting there? Oh, right. Okay. Another little thing. How many have we got in now? Oh, we've got a whole 31 people. We've got more people in. So hello, Hemi Orange, and Ian J Vintage is in as well. Fantastic. Hello, Ian. Two more items, and then that's it for the random took that I've picked up. Now, anyone who was out and around in the early 2000s probably recognise this shape of shoe, and it's a square-toed Patrick Cox PCs, Patrick Cox wannabes. Patrick Cox, everyone's is going back in for the old Y2K stuff again, and this is the sort of stuff I was wearing in my early 20s, probably in that colour as well. I picked those up for a tenner. Patrick Cox shoes in good condition. I'll make those look fantastic again. They will go anywhere between sort of 40 and 65 quid, so I should do pretty well out of those. Amber Resells. Hello, Amber. For anyone who doesn't know Amber, who's just said hello in the chat, you want to check out her channel as well. She's quite similar to me. Does eBay as a side gig, but I think she was doing a law degree or something like that. So she's got a pretty full-on day job as well. But she's really, really analytical with her her buying, and she really goes into the details. So I think we got quite similar ways of thinking. So yeah, if you haven't checked out her channel, please go and check out Amber. And the last bit from the haul, another cracking brand, LK Bennett. Okay, LK Bennett wedges. These are in pretty fantastic condition. Paid £4 for those. Decent size. They're a 36, maybe a little on the small side. Those would have been £200 new. So yeah, it's when you're picking up £200 shoes for £3.50, £4, you can't go wrong. They're absolute bangers, every one of those, and it's something that I've been really trying to do at the moment, and that's trying to be much more focused on my profit margins. I mean, I've always gone about trying to maximize my profits and be really focused on it, but I've just been really focused on it, because I've still got a massive backlog. I've probably got about 8 to 10 grand's worth of unlisted stock at the moment. It's a joke. So I'm being super careful when it comes to pickups that they've got to be bangers, but it's also meaning that I'm increasing the percentage of items that I have in my store at a higher price, and because of that, it means that my average sale that's going out is a higher value item as well. I was just doing a little looking at my numbers earlier. So I'm not a massive shop. I've got 150 items. I'm trying to build that up. I'm trying to increase my inventory listed every month until I get to the top end for the middle of the middle store. And so I'm being really focused on the higher end stuff or the higher value stuff, because why would I list something that's worth 20 quid when I've got stuff that's worth 65, 75, 80, 100 pounds? So I had a look. I list on average somewhere between 30 and 40 items a month. It's not a lot. I just don't have a lot of time. I've got a full-time day job, husband, 2 kids, trying to renovate a 1930s house, plus build a tack shed, plus maintain a sports car, which probably wasn't the best idea in the world buying that. So I'm busy. I've got a lot going on. So the time that I've got for eBay is about an hour and a little bit a day. I've got to be so focused on making my valuable time work for me. Why would I sell a 10 or a 20 pound item when I've got 60, 70 pound items there? And I've had a look. This month I've listed 17 items so far, and that's for a total of £996.83. So that's an average £58 per item, and my average cost on those is £7.35. So even if I took an offer, let's say not 20% off for that for the offer, and then another 20% for fees, and then the cost, looking around the £30 mark profit. That's not bad. Really can't complain with that. So it's I'm being very sorry. I've just moved my chair. Just being really focused on trying to increase my average sale price per item, and it's going in the right direction. I did some more. I'm such a loser. I love a stat, so I've been going through my numbers just to see the progress. I'll go through those in a minute. We've got a few more people in. Oh, we've got Charlotte in. So Charlotte's Reselling Journey. If you haven't checked out Charlotte's channel, please do. She's I think she's only 3 or 4 videos in at the moment. Charlotte's only recently started sort of documenting her reselling journey. So please go and check out her channel and give her a bit of support. But we had a little chat the other day. We're talking about investing, and that's something I'm really into as well. Is the fact is I'm 43 now, and there is no goddamn way I want to be working until I'm 68 before I can get a pension. That is not happening. So I've set myself a bit of a goal, and I think it's one of those things where I made that stupid goal of I wanted to get a sports car, and if you set yourself, a couple of achievable goals, sometimes you've got to have a stupid big goal. And I thought, well, if I don't get a huge amount of money together, I'll probably end up with something like I don't know, Mazda MX-5. But I thought, let's put a big, hairy, audacious goal out there, and that was to get a Porsche. Well, it's happened. Now I've decided that there's no way in hell I'm going to work until I'm 68. So I love a spreadsheet. So I've been doing the numbers and trying to work out how I can get the mortgage paid off earlier. Mortgage is going to be going on for got 18 and a half years left of the mortgage. And I reckon with a bit of shrewd investing using eBay money, I reckon I'll get that paid in 12. So that means at 55, I'll be able to ditch the day job, mortgage will be taken care of, and as well as that, with all the investing I'm trying to hammer into my pensions and ISA and everything else, I've put in I've decided I've made myself a ridiculous goal of I'm going to try and push to put together £500,000. It's ridiculous. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to bloody well do it. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about my average sale prices, and I'm going to have another swig of my beer because my mouth is getting dry. Right, actually, who else have we got in the chat? We've got loads of people. Victor Valters. Victor's, he goes to the same car boot as me, so I see him most weeks during the summer. DIY Detail. Don't know what your name is, DIY Detail, but thank you for joining. Yeah, the Porsche is all good. It's just costing me an arm and a leg with repairs, but it all should be good now. Husties, I'm on the beer first. I might do some cocktails later. Hello, Thrifty Trooper. Tiny Rat Bullring Cottage Collectibles. Hello. Who else have we got in here? Charlotte saying maybe interested in a investing video. Yeah, that's something I could put together at some point. 50 Trooper, man with a plan. Yeah, I'm always a man with a plan. I do. The thing is, the way I look at life is that if I don't, me personally, if I haven't got a plan or a goal, I just drift and coast, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, I've just wasted 6 months because I haven't been focusing on something. So it's good to get some downtime and let my brain decompress a bit. But if I've got a goal, I've got something to focus on, I'm going to do it, and that's what I want to do. I think I'm in a quite luxurious position of I quite like my day job. I quite like the people. I do like the people I work with. The company I work for seems to look after me, and it pays well, and I've got a good pension there. But with this on the side, if it was just that, I would be working till I was 68. But with the eBay on the side, that's a life-changing thing. With a bit of focus and making good decisions, I'm going to be able to change my life, my family's life, and smash the mortgage out quickly. And when I say retire, I don't mean kick back and sit in the sun. It means that I'm going to be able to make choices and do things that I want. So hopefully at 55, it means that I don't need to rely on the day job. The mortgage will be taken care of, and I won't need significant income to cover outgoings, and I'll be able to basically live off a combination of a bit of eBay and the growth from the stocks and shares. So that is the plan. Oh, I'm so far behind in the chat. This goes so quick. Husty's Emporium. I shoot. Oh, wait a minute. Can I share these? Oh, I can do that. Sorry, it's the first time I've ever done StreamYard, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So shoot for the moon. What's that? I'm too bust gazing at stars. What else have we got here? Is Husty on the vodka tonight? That might explain it. Anyway, right. I was getting back to some of my looking at my numbers and my stats, and I think because we've just had to do our end of year, the taxes, and get all that submitted before end of January. I think I've taken my eye off the ball towards the end of last year and not really been paying attention to my average buying cost, my average selling costs, selling values, and so I did a few stats, and I've definitely made some massive improvements. So if I look at my last 250 sales, average sale price £44.80, average profit £28.69. It's pretty good. Very happy with that. However, let's scratch that, move forward to my last 50 sales. And I think it's because I've been much more focused on, I'm listing higher value items, more higher value items recently, but I'm also focused on, that's all I'm trying to pick up. So my last 50 items, average sale price 59.60, average profit 38.87. So I've gone from a £44 sale price to a £59 sale price, and I've gone from a £28 profit to a £38 profit per item. And that's why I try to go for these items, because I'm not putting anyone else's business strategies and plans down. It's just, for me, with the hour a day, I can't be mucking about selling plushes. I can't be mucking about selling high volumes of lower profit items. It just doesn't work. For if you've got an hour a day, I've got to make every minute of that hour count, and that's why I've got to be much more focused on it. And it shows that my business is moving in the right direction, because I'm being a bit more focused on what I'm doing. And I'm not saying, as I said, I'm not saying bad mouthing or slagging off anyone else's businesses, but what I am saying is, have a look at your numbers, because if you don't, it might be shocking, and you might think, oh, am I wasting my time? Because I know of other resellers that, when they've looked at the profits and the hours that they're putting into it, they're making half of minimum wage. And I know time is free, so it doesn't matter, but the reality is that time is more valuable than money. If I want more money, I can make money by selling more stuff, but time, I can't get time back. So that's why I've only got an hour a day, because I've got to balance it up with, spending time with my family. Because what do you think my kids, when they're older, are going to say, oh, you know what, I'm really glad that Dad spent more time on eBay? Or actually, I need to rein it in a bit, only do an hour or so a day, and focus on them a bit as well. So it's yeah, lots to think about, but it's yeah, I would definitely say, spend a little time, maybe over the weekend or whenever. Go and have a little look at your numbers. Go and see, what is what's the profits on the last 50 items that I've sold? Is it where I want to be? Maybe once a quarter, have a look at your last 50 sales and just see, is it? I mean, I'm just saying 50 because for me that's a reasonable amount to look at. Have a look. Does it make a difference? Because if you don't know that you're making mistakes, then you don't know that you need to make changes. So it's that's something that I would say is definitely worth considering. Right, let's go and have a look through what else is going on in the chat. Funky Neil, you're not 68. No, no, I'm not 68, not quite yet. Nearly. Mentally, maybe. Well, physically, with my bloody body that's falling to bits. Neil's a good lad. I met him for a coffee a couple of weeks ago up in Hitchin. I went and had a coffee with Neil and Nick and Andrea, and Neil was kind enough to point me in the directions of some nice roads for driving home with, or driving home along. So I gave the roads a spirited drive. So yeah, enough about that. Okay, so we've got another Lee in the chat. My goal is to buy an investment property this year. Reselling is helping me do that, and that's what I like about this gig. If it's your main income, it's great because you've got flexibility. But if it's a side gig, it gives you options. It gives you the ability to make life-changing decisions. It really can make a huge difference. So, and with an investment property, what's good about investment property? I mean, I'm not. That's not something I'm going to get into. But with an investment property, you got, once you've invested in it, you will have money coming in from the tenants. But as well as that, over time, property is double in price roughly every 10 to 14 years, something like that. So 20 years down the line, you flog it on, and you can live off the proceeds of that. So you've got some security there as well. So that is a good option, not for everyone, and I don't think it's for me. I think I've got enough on my plate, but it's something I thought about in the past. And Tony Rat says going part-time is a bit like retiring. Well, I think that would be it. It would be when I hit whatever the goal is, then I think that then means I've got the flexibility to make a choice. At that time, I might think, you know what, I'm still quite enjoying work. Maybe I'll cut down to part time. But it um, gives me choices. Reselling is giving me choices because I can make decisions that will impact my life for the better because I have options. Whereas if I didn't have it on the side, I still have options, but I'd have fewer options. So yeah, it's definitely worth considering there's I suppose I could talk about investing a bit as well, maybe. But I can get onto that in a minute. Oh, Tracy's in the chat. Hi, Tracy. Tracy's a bit of a perv. I bought a dress once and she asked me. No, it wasn't a dress. I bought some thigh-high boots and she asked me to model them for her. So I took pictures of me wearing them on my arms. So yeah, tough luck, Tracy. Oh God, this chat moves so fast. Stu Mandry's in as well. God, there's so many people. Mike Harris, hello. Right. Another thing. So as I was talking about being on your business, have a look. Go and see our listings and see what values you got stuff at. I had a look through today. My thoughts are, if I've got lots and lots of £10 items, then I'm going to have lots and lots of £10 sales. I've got so this is as of 10 minutes or 20 minutes, half an hour ago, or whatever. I have got, oh crap, where's the numbers? 152 items listed for £6,800. Of that, I've only got 3 items that are worth less than a tenner, 43 that go between £10 and £25, 65 between 25 and 50. I've got 33 items that are worth that are listed for between 50 and £100. 3 items between 100 and 150, 4 items for 150 to 300, and I got 1 item listed for over 300 quid. So the vast majority of my items, well, all the nearly everything is over £10, but the vast majority of it is over 25 quid. So that means the vast majority of my sales are over 25 quid, and that's the thing. So it's if you had it like on a graph, it would go like this. So the vast majority of my items are in that middle lump, which means that the vast majority of my sales are somewhere between 50 and 100 quid, which is proven by the other numbers that I've got. So if you want to increase your profits without increasing your effort, source higher value items. Be wary of your outgoings, but by sourcing higher value items and higher profit items, it makes a massive difference. My effort is exactly the same. It means I've got less shite in the house because I don't keep bringing home stuff that's low value, but my profits are creeping up, and it means that I'm selling fewer items than I was. So that initially that made me a bit anxious because I was getting quite a few donut days where I wasn't selling anything, and it means my sales are up and down and up and down, and I'll sometimes go 2-3 days without making a sale, and then I'll sell a £200 item. A couple of days without a sale, I'll sell a £50 item. Another couple of days without, and then I'll sell 3 £25 items. So it's all over the place, but as it's not my main income, I don't give a monkeys. But it also means if I'm not selling every day, it means when I'm listing every day, I don't have if I've got an hour a day for eBay, 25 minutes, half an hour of that is spent packing. That's not a lot of time to list. So if my sales are a bit lumpier, then that means I might have 2 or 3 days without any interruptions, but just list, and that's helping me build the stock levels. So about 150 items at the minute. I want to try and get up towards 200 within the next couple of months, and max it out sort of by summer. So yeah, it's something to think about. Again, have a look at your items and see what sort of proportion are at the lower end and what proportion at the higher end, and it does make a big impact. If you want to sell stuff faster, then perhaps you need to increase your promotions, because that does genuinely work. Right, let's have a look, see what else is going on. The Dave says he want to give up the day job in the NHS for reselling, but there's no way he makes enough. I have 2 properties. The rents aren't great in Liverpool. Okay, no, that's good. That's good. You got a couple of properties there. It's really difficult because I have so many people asking me, when are you going to give up the day job? I'm not giving up the day job. There's absolutely no reason to give up the day job because I've got healthcare through work. I work 35 hours a week. I work 35 hours a week. It's often more than that. But I get a decent wage. But the biggest thing that why I don't give up work is my pension, because I signed up when I've been there for, so I work for a big professional services company, and I've been there for 12 years now. I signed up on the old pension contract, and what that means is that before I got to the age of 40, they would match my pension contribution. So if I put in 7% of my salary, the firm would put in another 7%. Why would I not want to double my money? So at that point, if I was putting in, I don't know, £200 a month, £150 a month, I would double that. You've got to treat that as you're paying your future self. But it's not just that money was being doubled. That money was being doubled. It's then being invested, and that's going to be invested for between 20 and 40 years, which means by the time I get it, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 times as much as that. So it makes a massive difference. But now, since I hit 40, so I'm now 43, because I'm on the old scheme, for every, let's get this right, if I put in 9% of my salary, the firm will put in an extra 12. So I'm now getting 19% of my salary put into my pension, which is, I couldn't afford to leave that to just get that alone from reselling, because I'd have to resell, pay tax, I have to have enough money to go and restock, got to have money for living off, and then how would I then put the, quite a few £100s into my pension as well? It's just not going to happen. So reselling it's not going to, if I was ever to be, for example, made redundant, yes, bang, reselling, I'm doing it. But touch wood, it's not going to happen. But for the time being, I just need to keep my head down, stay out of trouble, work hard, and it means that I've got a significant chunk going into my pension, and it means that big, hairy, audacious goal of having a couple of £100,000 in the bank in my mid-50s, I'm going to get out of there. That is the plan. Just out of interest, in the chat, are you a part-time reseller or a full-time reseller? So pop that in if you wouldn't mind. That'd be interesting to see what people do. And also, what's your reason for reselling? Do you do it for fun? Are you doing it for a little bit of extra fun money, or are you doing it to try and do something life-changing? Let me know. Let's have a look. Neil, I keep seeing Porsches for sale now. About 15 years ago, I saw a late 60s 911 for sale in the US for 4,500. Toyed with the idea of shipping it back and didn't, kicking yourself now. Yeah, a 60s 911, you're probably looking at about £60,000 now. I'm kicking myself. I was looking at like the 80s 911s because they were the cheapest ones, and I was looking at these about 8-9 years ago, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. I'm just going to save and save and save, and I'll get there. And the problem is my savings went like this. The cost of 911s went like this. So I just got further and further away from them. So yeah, I would love to have got a either an 80s one. Well, I would love to have got a 60s one, but that's never happening. But I quite like the look of a 1980s G body, but yeah, that ain't going to happen either now. What else have we got in here? Oh, the chat just skipped. Sorry. Oh my word, it's just skipped massively. Do. I was talking about Tracy there, and well, I didn't try on the dress. I held up the dress in front of me, didn't actually try it on. But yes, Tracy is definitely a bit of a perv. So she can't deny it. She knows she is. Actually, no, I do remember. I got my head cut out, and I put a photo of my head cut out, and I put it on the dress because Tracy's a perv. So I thought she'd like it. Oh, Neil is smashing it. He's just sold a vintage Casio synthesizer, £300. Let's hope you don't get any more dodgy buyers again, Neil. Neil's had a couple of dramas with scammers recently, so yeah, we've had a chat about that, and I just can't believe that what scammers will do. They don't give a crap about us, and we're trying to make a living, and they're trying to diddle us out of our hard-earned cash. Oh, Neil absolutely smashed it. If he's paid 25 and sold it for 300, that is amazing. Let's have a look. Huskies, it's not that easy to source high value items if you're not in the right place. I'd agree with that. I think it geographically it does have an impact. I'm 25 minutes away from London on the train, so I'm in the commuter belt. I'm in a commuter town, and it means that there are affluent people in and around the town that I live in, which means that the charity shops have got good, high quality items, and the car boot sales are absolutely epic. It's yeah, I do okay, but I ensure that I put myself in the best possible position to take advantage of that. You could live in a, a town with absolutely amazing buys everywhere, but if you don't learn, and I'm not bad mouthing you, Husty, I'm just explaining to people that I spend a lot of time researching. So if you've seen any of my Become a Better Reseller videos, I haven't done one for a while actually. I show you how I learn about a subject, and it actually Amber does stuff very similar. She's done some videos on looking for certain jean brands in certain categories, so you know what ones sell for high amounts. It's very similar to the way I do my research. And I think Amber was a bit more technical and doing it with spreadsheets and working out what out of the last 200 gene sales, what was selling for what. But I'm I'm a massive advocate of doing your research. And so two things: A, know what you're looking for. I'm always learning about different brands, because the difference between brand A and brand B could be 100 quid. So I want to know what ones are going to get me the big bucks, so I can flick past the crap and get the good stuff. Two, you've got to put yourself out there. And I've got 2 or 3 really good car boots round near me. And I'm up at stupid o'clock. I'll hit car boots on a Saturday, I'll hit car boots on a Sunday. And on a Sunday, when my good car boot, the one that I go to with, I don't go with it. I see James collects there, and I see Victor's there. When that's full, I'll look at somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 clothing items in one morning, and it's a lot. But even if I get a tiny percentage of that are bangers, that's good, because I only need to list a handful of things a week. So it's doing the higher volume of items you put yourself in front of, the higher volume of quality items you're going to find. And I think that's another thing. You've got so many, like, again, I'm not slagging off the gents, but a lot of gents are scared to look at women's clothing, women's shoes, or clothing at all. And a lot of them, they'll go straight to the toys and games in a charity shop. I'll look at everything. Or no, I don't. I used to look at everything. And as I said, I've been more refined, and I look at I do lots of spreadsheets on my buys and my sells, and then I do in Excel, I do something called a pivot table, and then I can look at each category. So I categorize all my buys. So I might put men's tops, women's tops, men's coats, women's coats, shoes, boots, etc., etc. And I can then find out what my averages are for buying costs for each category, and then what my selling is for each category. And then I can minus one from the other and see which category has got the highest profits. So I know specifically I'm looking for high-end ladies' boots, coats, men's coats. So I'm not going to go through all my bits and pieces. I've done the damn research. You need to do your own. But by by crunching those numbers, it means that I can focus in on items that I know will sell for more profit. So this is, yes, you need to work hard, but also you want to work smart. I'm a massive advocate of working smart, not just because I'm a lazy bugger, but because if you're working smart, you can make more profit for the time that you've got. I completely lost the train of thought. Oh yeah, I was saying about how a lot of gents don't look at ladies' clothes. So I know specifically when I go into a charity shop, I will look through the ladies' clothes, but I will first hit coats, then I will hit knitwear, then I'll look at shoes. Once I've done those, I'll look at the men's, same thing, and then I'll go through the tops and trousers afterwards, because if there are other resellers in there, I want to look at the higher end and higher the the categories which have got a higher chance of making a higher profit first before they get there. I want to be first to the rail, and I want to go through it before I go to the lower profit rails. So it's about being smart about your decisions. So right, what have we got next? All right, I'll have another sip. I'm quite liking this. There's a multi-pack of different random ones, but yeah, Mallow Laser Quest. Quite like that one. I'm not sponsored by Brewdog or any shit like that, but I do like a beer. Anyway, uh, strategy. It's all about the strategy. I've always got a plan, always. The Dorset Dad. Check out the Dorset Dad on Instagram. I believe he's also got a YouTube channel. I haven't checked it out yet, but I believe he has. Been taking all your advice regarding higher margins, and it certainly makes so much more sense. And I'd hope it does for most people, but I also appreciate that anyone who's a full timer, you may not have the stock availability to just get higher end items. So if that's the case, I mean, I target my higher end stuff first, and if I was a full timer, of course I'd be getting lower profit margin stuff as well. But in the situation I'm in with a full time job, I can source much more than I can list. So for me, it sounds stupid, but so I'm going to buy up in a second. That beer's getting to me. If It sounds stupid, but sometimes I'll look at stuff on a table and I'll think I could make £20 on that, but it looks like effort. I'll see stuff and I think I'm going to have to clean that, or it's going to be an absolute bastard to pack. And whilst I know it might be a vase that will make me 20-25 quid, I know it's going to take me 25 minutes to pack it, when I know with a coat that makes me 30 quid, I can pack it in 2 minutes flat. So as I'm still got more stock that I can possibly cope with, I'm going to leave the awkward item there. And you know what? Someone else, another reseller, will probably pick it up and they'll get themselves a tasty profit on it. There you go. Why would I give up the day job when it's better than reselling? And that's it. It's it gives me a good wage. It's secure. I've got two kids in the house to and a wife and etc. So it's, yeah, I've got to be sensible and make sure that I've got sensible secure income coming in. Hello, Richard. I think Rich was having had a bit of a chat earlier, but I missed the end. Well, I missed the start of it. I saw the end and thought I'd pop in after. Thrifty Trooper. I'm slowly moving away from low value items However, I'm making more money per day with selling lower value items part-time on eBay than I've ever done a full-time job. That's fantastic. And that's really, really good, because I started monkeying around with this. I've been reselling for 2.5 years now, and I would basically base my purchases on what I saw Nick and Andrea picking up on George Ross and what they were buying, and it was great because I was selling loads of random stuff every day. But what was getting me down was the fact that because I was at the minute I'm working from home, makes life a lot easier when it comes to packing, because I can be at work, do my job, pack stuff in between. But when I'm in the office, I was taking in 4 or 5 parcels a day, and then going and standing in a queue at the post office to post stuff, and it was really, really getting me down. The volume, not the volume, the amount of time I was spending in the post office queue and packing and everything else. So it's working out that balance. Now, my oldest is 12 years old. Part of her chores for the week is that she needs to do 3 or 4 post runs for me. So when she gets home from school, I'll have the packages ready to rock and roll. I don't have to sit in the queue. She goes and does it, and that's part of her weekly chores. She's got half term coming up now, and I've got a lot of shoes that need cleaning. I've taught her how to clean the shoes. She will have the choice of cleaning shoes. She can either get a wage for it. I'm going to expect her to do a certain amount in an hour, and she will get paid a decent amount for that. Or she will have the choice of any shoes that are in her size she can pick. So she likes a couple of pairs of trainers I've got. So if she wants to pick a pair of trainers, the reality is, okay, I might be losing a bit of profit, but on average, I spend what, £4, £5 on a pair of ladies' trainers. So she's going to get a pair of 60, 70, 80, £90 trainers for doing a little bit of cleaning for me for an hour or so. So she wins, I win. She also learns the value of money and the value of working hard, hopefully, and sees that you graft a bit and you can do well. Uh, hello, David M. So David is a part-time reseller. I know he's always picking up lots of bits of North Face. He does really, really well there. So I'm impressed with all his North Face finds. Peter is full-time. Tony Rat part-time since lockdown, and that's it. It can be a bit of fun. I do get a buzz out of it. Tea cakes. Not sure what I am. I do part-time hours, but I have no other job. That's the dream. That would be the dream. So maybe when I get to I still think it's a ridiculous number to go for, but if I can get anywhere near 500,000, that would be great. If I don't, I'm still going to stop work at. No, I need to reassess the situation at 55 when I get to 55 and see where I'm at. But if it means that I can go give up the day job, we'll go part time and then do this for fun. If I enjoy it and make a bit of money, we're all good. Anya is part time. Eric is now full time. Was a nurse, now retired. I still can't say sales are the unexpected. It's still Vinegar Pete. Mike Harris had a couple of months off now. Has been working overtime in a day job, but will be kickstarting the shop over the next couple of weeks. Good luck on that. Victor, it's his strange hobby. It's always good to have a strange hobby, mate. And the Dorset dad, he was part-time, but has gone full-time in the beginning of January due to losing his full-time job. Sorry to hear that, but I've been watching your Insta stuff, and I'm sure you're going to do well. You've got the right attitude. But if you need any pointers or you've got any questions, give us a shout. Oh, I think he's referring to. I think Tom is referring to Tracy being a bit of a perv. We all know Tracy's a perv. My God, there's so many people in here. This is This is mental. Hello, James. Wow, this is crazy. Right, I don't know what else I'm going to talk about. Oh, I know what I can do. I wrote down a few things just in case. I had an absolute disaster today with my printer. I got a laser printer picked up off eBay, so all my labels go out on there, and it was starting to get a bit faded. So I bought myself a new toner through eBay. Binned the old one, stuck the new one in. The bins went this morning. I hadn't done any test prints with the new toner cartridge, and it basically, I don't know if I've got one here. The toner was basically drawing black lines all across the paper, so you couldn't see my postage labels. So I couldn't fish out my old one out of the bin because the bin men had taken it already. And even though it was faded, it could have got me through until I got a replacement. So I've had to order an Amazon Prime, order a new one through Amazon Prime. So hopefully I'll get my new toner cartridge in the morning at some point. I'll do the rest of my postage, but that was has been fun. I don't know. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? I'm kind of now lost my train of thought. Not sure what to really chat about. Excuse me. Clara. Hi Lee, just seen this by accident. Very pleased. Why do you keep a book with your items rather than a computer record? I don't. So hold on. I think if you're referring to this, Clara, I do have a massive computer record of everything. I spreadsheet a lot. I'm like a massive Excel geek because I've been trained into it through work, and data helps you make better decisions. The more data I've got, the better I can analyze it, the better decisions I can make off the back of that information. This book, this is literally my little listing diary. So as I'm taking my photos, I'll note down what I'm taking my photos of. So Levi shirt, medium, cotton, put all the measurements in here, what box it's going into, and then once it's listed, I cross them out. So I know I try and do my photographs on the weekend and give myself 7 to 10, 14 listings or potential listings for that week. As soon as I've done the photos and written the notes in here as I'm doing it, all the measurements, they get put straight into the boxes, and I don't have to look at them when I'm listing because I've got every bit of information I need for the listing in front of me. I'll try and draft a few bits and pieces, and in the week I'll just try and do 1 or 2, 3 a night, just bang in a couple of them, and as I've done it, cross it out. And it's also a redundancy. So if, for example, I've made a mistake and I can't find, I write the date in here as well. If I can't find a specific pair of shoes in box C, it's like, crap, have I written down box C wrong? I'll check my spreadsheet. If that says box C and eBay says box C, let me check the book, and I've got it in here. So it's just it's, I like working off a list, so it helps me work out what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So yeah, I've just aligned book with all my listings in here, and as I go through it, I cross them through, and it means that I don't. So I when I wasn't organised and I was just doing it on a bit of scrap of paper, sometimes I'd take photos of something, do the measurements, I'd never list it. So it's been sitting in box X for 2 years, and I didn't realise I'd never listed it because you forget. So that's why I have it so I can visually see when it's crossed off, and I can't go on to the next page until I've listed everything on that double page spread. So that's how I do it. What else have we got in here? Make some of us mods. James, I have no idea how to. This is the first time I've ever done a live stream. Well, the other one I did off my phone. So it's the first time I've tried StreamYard. I literally have no idea how to. So maybe I'll sort that out for next time. No mods. I don't know how to. The other mods, thank you, but I don't know how. Let's have a look. What else have we got in here? That's very good advice. Never give up a day job that doesn't drive you mad. I don't love my job. It's not exciting. It doesn't. I don't get up thinking, wow, I want to go to work on a Monday morning. I get paid well, reasonably well respected there. I like the people I work with. I don't hate what I'm doing. I get to use my brain. I get to solve problems. Yeah, it's pretty good. Keeps me out of trouble, and it pays me well for what I'm doing. It's weird. I've actually got there's potentially a promotion available at work, and I'm at that stage where it's, well, actually, between the day job and eBay, I've got a decent amount of money coming in now, but it the other job seems to be a bit more sort of analytical type stuff, which is the kind of stuff I like doing, but it could also be an increase in stress. And whilst it might be more interesting work, if it is going to be more stressful, do I really need it when I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing? So I don't know. I'm having to think over the weekend. I think there's a good chance that I might apply for it, but if I get the job, I don't need to take it. I could just say, yeah, sorry, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a think. Got some stuff to think about there. Lee, you're the sensible side of reselling. I've been doing this a long time, 10 years plus, but only recently doing it in a clever way. Thank you. And yeah, just that's I've always been as I said, I've been an advocate of working smart rather than working hard. I work hard and smart. If you can do that, then you're going to smash it. What's Peter saying? I tend not to buy what other people buy. I've ended up with some real crud doing that. Um, rather trust my own knowledge. 100%, Peter. I think I think I followed what other people were selling when I was a bit of a freshie and I was green to the game and didn't know what I was doing. And as I've progressed, I still, I'll still pick up what other people are doing. But if I see, for example, George Ross picking something up, if that piques my interest, I don't just go and think, right, I'm going to go and buy it. I'll do a bit of research, get it into my head so I know whether that's worth me considering in the future. But yeah, 100%, Peter, because you'll get a lot of so for anyone who just looks at anyone else's videos and think, oh, so and so bought that, it must be good. Don't do. If you see me buy something, don't just think, oh, Lee's bought that, it must be good. Go and have a look. Look at comps. See, is everything above board? Am I talking out of my arse, or is it actually an item that is valuable and worth selling? Have I made a mistake? So always question what you see on YouTube. Don't believe what everyone puts, because uh, people can make mistakes or people could be misleading. You don't know. Uh, what else have we got in the chat? Sorry, I'm going quiet. I'm just trying to find what people are saying. Well, T Cakes, that's the plan. I won't go into if people are interested about investing. I'm not like a qualified um, person to talk about investing, but the previous role I worked in was investment compliance. I spent 3 years in that, so I've got a good understanding of how it works, and that's something I was talking to Charlotte about the other day, and saying she's young, so she's got time on her side, and I had a brief chat about making sure that she's got a diverse portfolio and keeping on top of your charges and not putting all your eggs in one basket. And so if that's something that people are interested in, I I could put together a stream at some point, maybe or a video, and just explain a little bit about investing, because if you've got time on your side, the younger you start, the more you can your returns can compound. The more it compounds, you basically, I'm going to call it interest, but it growth. So if you've got £10 and that grows to 12, you've then got, next time you get more interest, it's not just on the £10, it's on the 12, and it just grows and grows and grows. So I've taken all my, when you've got a pension set up through work, what you'll find is that most of the time they'll set up the pension so that it's a balanced portfolio, where what they want to do is, yes, they want you to make money, but they don't want you to lose money. So they tend to be fairly cautious. And the younger you are, the more risk you can take, as long as you're taking a long-term view in it, and a balanced view on it. We can afford to take more risks when we're younger. So yes, the stock market goes up and down and up and down and up and down, but it's very, very volatile over a short period. Over 10, 15, 20 years, it will go up. So I've I've got money saved in, I've got my work pension. I've taken everything out of the funds that they gave me, and I've put it into more strategic funds, which I think are going to be better for me over the period of time I'm going to be investing. Got a separate self-invested pension plan. I've got a lifetime ISA, and I've got an ISA, because all of those have got different pros and cons. You want to make it all tax efficient, and ISA is tax efficient, so you can put money in there. It doesn't matter if it grows to £1 billion, you'll never get taxed on that money coming out, because you've already paid your tax. Whereas if I put money into a lifetime ISA, or a self-invested pension plan (SIP), if I put in £100, I'll get a tax uplift. So the 100 then turns into 120, because they take the tax off. But it means that when I take my pension, I'll end up having to pay the tax again. But by then the money's grown, so I've I've got all these different things, so that I've got different tax strategies, and whatever else. It's all about thinking about the long game. But if people want me to go into more depth, I can do, but I'm not an advisor. I'm not qualified to tell you what to do. I can tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But don't, as I said, don't take my advice, because I'm not qualified to give you advice, but I can explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, so that you can understand more about it and take more of an interest in it. If you're not paying into a pension, and you're solely going to be relying on eBay for your retirement, what if you're sick? What if there's another pandemic and you can't go out and source, and that is your income? You've got to, and you can't rely on the state pension. What if you, all of a sudden, you're in your early 60s, but you can't get your state pension till you're 68? Well, you're going to go eight years without getting an income because you're ill, or there's a pandemic again. You need to think about the bigger picture, and think about having redundancies, as in backup plans, and having a strategy. If people would be interested in that, I can do that. I'll explain what I do and why I do it. But yeah, it's something that I've read up on, because I find it interesting, and the reality is, I want to get as much as I can for as little effort as possible. Uh, Hi, Tracy Parks. Lee, you are wrong. Okay, thanks. Shazad, what was I wrong about? I might be wrong. I mean, there are different. I know Shazad does a lot of. I think he talked about opportunity loss before. So I'm very much I don't care if it sits on the shop front for 2 years and it sells at some point. The other way of looking at it is, the quicker you flip stuff, the quicker you can compound your growth and your returns. But that is all very much based on an effort cycle. If you've got replenishables, that's great, because you can flip things quickly, and you can and get that money coming back in quickly, reinvest it, and keep flipping it. But as a part-timer, that doesn't work for me. So if that was what you're talking about, Shazad, yeah, different strategies for different lifestyles. For me, as a part-time gig, this is the best for me. But I don't know what I'm wrong about. But if that was it, then I'm wrong. Do, do, do. Aaron says he'd like to not have to have the day job, need to get investing. Yes, it's, but don't go silly into it. That if you're going to start investing and you don't know anything about it, the best thing you can do is get your money into a low fee index tracker. But I've got a balance of, I've got index trackers, I've got specific individual stocks and shares, and I've got funds that are managed by fund managers. So it's getting a sensible balance. Did I pick up golf clubs? I've picked up quite a few golf clubs, and I haven't got around to selling them. I've got a big stack of them in the garage at the minute. Anya, oh my god, I'm so far behind in the chat. The Tat Cave is slow going. It would be further along, but it's an absolute bugger. So basically, the roof is meant to be like that. Oh, there's a camera. So because it was only me and my dad doing it, get the roof up onto the frame, got one side up and propped up, other side is now up, but that can't go up because it hits it. So I've got to get this side, lift it up further, then lift that up, and then drop them back down together. And we were having a lot of trouble because over winter, when it was like very, very windy and rainy, it's difficult when you're lifting big stuff. And it's just me and my dad doing it. My dad's in his 80s, so it's just, well, let's wait for a bit better weather. And then I broke my toe, so at the minute I'm hobbling around. So it is coming. I wish my plan had been get it all in and watertight for spring. Not a chance. I haven't even got the second part of the roof up, so we're getting there. Talk about cars. I can talk about cars another time, not today. Sean, right? Sean Abercrombie. If you have not followed him on Instagram, you need to do so. Go and have a look. Hold on. Can I drop his link in? Do I know how to do that? I don't know how to do that. Oh, I could do it myself. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Right. We'll figure it out after. I'll read out his Instagram so you can just do it that way, because this is my first ever time on bloody StreamYard and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So on Instagram, Sean is under Abercrombie Antiques Art Design. Now, Sean is a bit of a clever git. He knows a lot about antiques and art. And if there's one thing you can do now, if you are not already following Sean on Instagram, you need to do so, because I have made a crap ton of money through learning through his posts. He regularly puts up just an image or a couple of images of a particular antique or collectible that he's picked up, and goes into real detail about that particular item. And off the back of that, I picked up an Ainsley teapot as part of a bundle, and I sold the teapot on its own for £230. £230 for a teapot. And that was because of something I learned from Sean. So if there's one thing you can do right now, it is to find Sean's Instagram. That is Abercrombie Anti Art Design. He's a clever git. I think he might be bipolar, because he's very sensible when on Instagram, and he's massively abusive when he's on YouTube, which I quite like, really. I like it. He's a little bit bipolar. Lee loves a spreadsheet. I love a spreadsheet. I'm such a geek. I'm a loser, but I'm a loser who's going to retire early. So that's exactly it. If you can live on 20 grand a year, all you need is 500. Yeah, yeah, 500,000, and you can live off the 4% rule. There's another website which is worth going into, where you can look up. Basically, you can work out, if you start off with, say, £500,000, you put that in, you work out what percentage you've got in stocks, what percent you've got in bonds, work out, you put in a withdrawal rate or an amount you're going to withdraw per year, and it will look at every stock market scenario for the past 100 years, for every year ongoing, and it will basically give you a percentage of how, if I want that to last me 30 years, it will tell me whether I'm withdrawing too much, and it will tell me I've got a 60% chance of having money left by the time I'm 85. Well, if that's the case, that means I need to take out less money. So there, it's I think it's called 2020 Financial. Where is it? It's the 2020 Financial Pension Drawdown Calculator, and you can play around with the numbers, and you can work out whether you're going to run out of money in retirement or not, and then adjust your spending, or you can adjust, right, actually I thought I needed £200,000. You know what, I'm going to need to have £300,000 to retire. And you can, by being prepared and working it out now, you can make decisions to make sure you've got the right money when you need it. Right, I'm so far behind. Monkey Thrifter. Boot sales are slowly opening. Anyone still open? My next one's at Bradford Bulls on Friday. So I've got one boot sale that's going through the winter near me, but the reality is I don't want to be getting up when it's still dark and wandering around in a car park with a torch. I can't be asked. I'll do that in summer. If I can get up, I'll get up in summer. It'll be dark when I get up. I'll have a shower, have a bit of toast. Just as I'm leaving the house, the sun will be coming up, and I can get there just for opening, and that's fine. I don't want to be wandering about in the bloody dark. So yeah, I knock it on the head. I literally do. I'm a fair weather boot seller. I will go. I think mine open up April, so April to September. That's it for me. Uh, ah, Tracy's telling me I make mods in YouTube chat. Ah, okay. Maybe I need to do it here then. Okay, right. I can start adding mods now. Right. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Because I'm a muppet, I didn't know that. I'll start whamming some mods in here. I'll do that later. Right. I've done a few there. Well, just stumbled across this live stream. The book's a good idea. I'm working on a build on the build a wall of ceramics around my desk, and when they threaten to fall on me, I'll list them away. That's a good way of doing it. I'm pretty sure you do, Shazad. I'm pretty sure you do work hard and smart. Yeah, we all start out winging it, and it's the thing is that you've got to learn from your mistakes, and I made plenty of mistakes when I started out, and I just we all do, and I still make mistakes now, and that's the thing. If you need to learn from your mistakes, and we all get burnt. We make good choices, we make bad choices, and we just need to learn from that. And if you can learn from your mistakes and your successes, and you can build on that, then you make fewer mistakes and you make more successes. So yeah, all good. Tracy, yes, sales of the unexpected. That is Peter. That is the vinegar jar. I'm still going to call him Vinegar Pete. Tea Cakes admits he's lazy. He sells replenishables. Um, and that is great with from a time point of view. Totally respect that, and that's the way. As with this playing this game, this reselling game. There are so many ways of doing it, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that anyone else is wrong. I'm saying that for my purposes, I'll do it my way. It seems to work, but that certainly does not work for everyone else. And if I had, um, so if anyone knows is Jess from the chat, she's not in here, but Jess, she she sells a lot of. I'm not going to go into it in case people try and nick her idea. She shares it on in Instagram, but she sells a specific range of items, and it's just daily money coming in and in and in. And it's high margin. It's a replenishable. Because she's got that big chunk of regular sales, it frees up her time to look at other bits and pieces, and she can be a bit more experimental on the side. Hemi Reseller, investing, it can be simple. Vanguard Life Strategy, Vanguard funds. So Vanguard was started up by a guy called Jack Bogle, and he is a bit of a legend in the game, and he's very much about the keep the costs low. The percentages fees that go to the investment companies can make a massive difference over a 30-40 year investment period. So Jack Bogle, who started Vanguard, he's very much along the lines of the cheapest way of doing it is not having a fund manager. You want to have everything in an index. An index basically means you're investing in the entire market. So you might be investing in the entire FTSE 100 or the FTSE 250, or if it was America, the Standard and Poor's 500, so S&P 500, and it basically spreads your risks out. So you could have a couple of different companies take an absolute crap, but because you're invested in 500 companies, if 7 of them have a absolutely disastrous period, doesn't matter because the rest of the market is generally going up. So you're not going to outperform the market. You are the market, but if that's going up at a sensible rate, you're going to be fine. The main thing is to invest consistently, and to start as early as you can. And it doesn't matter if the market's going up, the market's going down. Be consistent. I can do this another time, but anyway. So that's one bit there. Do, 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 do. Luke says, "Do I get funny looks when I'm thumbing through women's clothes?" I I used to be really self-conscious about it, and I would go into a charity shop, and I'd be really sheepish about it, and kind of sometimes get embarrassed. And then when I started selling them for decent amounts, I couldn't give a monkeys what people think anymore. I don't give a toss. And sometimes they'll ask, "Oh, is it for you?" And when a guy comes in and they're buying stuff in a charity shop, if it's women's clothes, you could say, "Oh, it's for my wife and my mum," or whatever else. But if I've got stuff in a size 8, 16, 20, 14, and I've got shoes in all different sizes, I can't really use that excuse. Um, so I do feel like a bit of a knob sometimes, but I don't care. They might give me a bit of side eye, or think something funny of me. I don't care. They look at me funny for 2 minutes, and then it doesn't matter because I'm making profit, so I don't give a monkeys. So yes, I do get funny looks, but I don't care anymore. Right, what else isn't this? Chat is gone bananas. I can't keep up with it. Never to depends on how long you're planning on living, Peter. But I think it's sensible to always have something invested. I mean, even I was talking about paying off my pension, no pension, paying off my mortgage, and something I'd done. I wonder, do I know how to share screen? I don't know how to share screen in here. I'll have to figure that out for next time. Basically, when I started doing the reselling, I was using some of the extra money coming in to pay an extra £100, £200 off the mortgage. And the reality is that that was sort of instilled in me by my parents. And if you can pay off your mortgage faster, great. That's not the way to do it. Interest rates are so low at the moment. What I'm now doing, I've worked out, if I put in a little bit of if I put some eBay money in, I put a little bit and my wife puts in a little bit, we can invest, let's say £300 a month. Let me take another swig of beer. £300 a month goes into a stocks and shares ISA. In that stocks and shares ISA, if I average a 6% return on average, and the stock market over the last 10, 20, 30 years, you're looking at closer to 8 to 10% return. So let's be conservative. Let's say 6% return, and I'm putting in £300 every month. By the time we get to 12 years' time, I will be 55. At that point, I will have put in. I'll do my compound interest calculator. I can tell you exactly what it is. Right. Let's do this. I'm not going to share my screen because I don't know how to do all that. So starting off with a zero balance right now, say 6% interest over 12 years. I'm putting in a deposit of £300 a month. I will end up, after 12 years, I don't know if it will show, £63,000. Of that, £19,000 is interest. So we're going to take that number, £63,045. £63,045. So I'm now putting that in as my starting figure. I've got an 18-year mortgage. So for 12 years, carry on paying my mortgage as normal. I'm going to put £300 extra from eBay and a little bit on the side into this fund. If it goes at 6%, that means I'll end up with £63,000. I'll only have put in 43,000 or 40, something like that. I've then got 6 years, 6 months left of my mortgage to go. My withdrawal, I'm going to put that at my mortgage at the moment. I don't know what the rate will be in the future, but my current mortgage is costing me £800 a month. So that is my withdrawal. So that means, 63, 6 months, withdrawal, 800 a month. And that means I will end up with, have I messed this up because I've had a drink? Hold on, 63,000, 6%, withdrawal, 800 a month. And I'll still end up with, so I'm taking, yeah, I'll still end up with, I'll still end up with something like £16,000 left at the end. So I can actually pay it off faster. Let's try and do this faster. Let's do it. I hope I haven't messed up my maths here. Let's say 5 years. Maybe it's better if I actually do this properly and do a shared screen thing. But basically, I've done the maths. And it basically means if I pay an extra £300 a month now for 12 years, I can then start, I'll have that £63,000, which is still earning 6% interest, but I can then withdraw £800 a month to pay the mortgage, which means it doesn't have to come out of my wage, which means I don't need to have a job. And then that will then steadily pay for the remainder of the mortgage term, which means, so whilst technically I'm still going to have my mortgage for 18 years, after 12 years, I will not have to worry about it because it is looked after. Anyway, maybe it's better that I don't have a drink next time and I actually share the screen to show you how to do it. Anyway, right. Investment is interesting. Probably explaining investing is not interesting when I've had a drink. Well, it's probably interesting when I've had a drink. It's just really bad advice. You're wrong about me being a perv. No, Tracy is a perv. We all know that. Do I feel awkward looking at comps on my phone in charity shops and car boot sales? I'm subtle. I don't just go and get an item and get my phone out and look at it right there. I will subtly go go and have a look. I don't do it in front of the seller. If it's a position of, I think it's a really good item, I won't take the chance and leave it there and walk away at a car boot sale, because someone else will have that. I've made that mistake before. I will roll the dice and take a chance using a combination of gut instinct and experience. In the charity shop, I can assess the situation, see how many people are about. I can pick up the item, hold it under my hand, turn around, shield the phone with my back, and look at the comps. So it depends on the situation. I will use it, but with regards to clothing now, I've built up a knowledge base where I know the key brands to look out for. So if I see those brands, I know it's worth picking up. And if otherwise, I'll go through and I'll feel something, and you think, oh, that's got cashmere in it, or that's got silk in it. I don't know the brand. Then I depends on whether I'm at a car boot sale or a charity shop. I might roll the dice and take the chance because I can feel the quality. Learning to spot quality is something that Zahir had said before. If you can learn to spot quality, it is a massive advantage for you, because you can you don't need to waste your time looking up a comp. Yes, we'll still make the odd mistake, but it it makes a massive difference. So that is a key thing to do. Learn some decent brands, even if it means you go out and buy Vogue magazine or GQ. Flick through. Don't even have to buy anything. Go on the Net-a-Porter or Pret-a-Porter website and look through the names. Write them down. Stick them in your phone before you go to a charity shop. Have a look through the names. Start to. I'm not saying I haven't got a photographic memory, I've got a very good memory. But if you regularly, before you go into any charity shop, spend 2 minutes in the car or wherever, flicking through the names that you've saved in your phone, get them in your head, that repetition will build and you will pick up more higher quality items. I'm not giving investment advice. I'm saying what I will do. Don't take my advice. I'll explain what I do, why I do it. Do what you like. I don't give a monkeys. It's all right, Rich. I'm miles away from you. I've got a mate who's going to give me a hand with the roof, so it's not a drama, but I appreciate it anyway. Thank you. What else have we got? I just got to work it. It will come. It will come. Thrifty Troopers got car boot sales all year round. See, that's great. I mean, I don't have them all year round, but if I was full time, I would be hitting them all year round, all the time. Oh dear. I think Neil has been drunk bidding, so that could be interesting. Right, I'm just going to scroll through. I'll probably be another 10 minutes or so, and I think I'll knock it on the head, because having a few beers means I need a wee soon, and I'm sure you guys have got a lot of better things to do. Just seeing if there's anything else in the chat that's relevant. Welcome to Drunkle Financial Advice with Lee. Sober financial advice. I'm all right with that. I don't give advice. Don't take this. No, this is not advice. This is just telling people about situations. I'm telling people, do your own research, look it up, learn about it. Actually, if you want to get some no nonsense advice, there's a good YouTube channel. I think it's Damien something. It is called Damien Talks Money. That dude. He is very straight talking. Nice bloke, quite funny, but he's it's quite. So it's a serious thing to talk about, but he does it in a funny way. But he's got a very balanced view, and if you are even considering that you need to start investing or whatever else for the long term, which I think everyone should, watch a couple of his videos. I think you'll find them interesting. People saying, oh, investing is not interesting, reselling is. Well, it's a combination of it. For me, it's all about it's a combination of it. I get a thrill out of the reselling, but the reality is I want to look after myself when I'm older, so I have to take an interest in the investing. Can be interesting. Depends if you want to have your money working for you. But yeah, it's not interesting for everyone, but I want to be drinking nice wine when I've retired, not Tesco's value. So Sean almost never checks anything when buying the information. Oh, a minute. The information is not in my head, but I buy based on the skill required to make it. That is exactly what I'm talking about with regards to spotting quality. So whilst I look at quality on clothing items, I can feel if it's silk, I can feel if it's cashmere. I'll look inside a shirt or a blouse and see if it's got a French seam. I'll look at how the buttons are constructed, how the buttons are sewn on, look at the placard, and has it got a split yoke. There are so many little details. Same with shoes. I learn about the construction of shoes so I can spot something that is a high quality item. Sean with antiques, people learning about the skill that's required to make something. If something is a more highly skilled item, if it takes more skill to build something and make something, then surely it's got a higher value. And that was exactly what it was with regards to the that teapot that I sold. And then Sean explained to me if I get in close with a magnifying glass or a loop, I can then see how if there are little dots, for example, then it's printed. Whereas if it's not got little dots, well, under a microscope, under a magnifying glass, then it would suggest it's hand painted. A hand painted item is surely going to have more value than a printed item. So yeah, learning to spot stuff, learning to spot quality and skill required to make something, that can make a massive difference if you don't know what the item is. When did I start eBay selling? I started about 2.5 years ago, and it was after I saw, I don't know what prompted me to see the video, why I saw it, but it was Nick Hills and that sellotape video where he was in Tesco's or Sainsbury's or wherever he was, and there was some sort of scotch tape or sellotape, which it was a device that's strapped to the back of your hand, and then you had these refills, and they're all being cleared out at 30p or something like that. And he just bought everything on the shelf. He just all went into his shopping basket, and he was then bundling them up and selling them on. And I saw that, I thought, holy shit, that's amazing. So I then looked at Nick's other videos, and then saw, oh my god, so he's just buying stuff at car boot sales, charity shops, and selling it for a profit. I could do that. And then I did. But then I didn't even realize I'd kind of been doing that before by mistake. I was so my got the day job. My other life, I've been a professional photographer for what's that, 14, 15 years. So I got a lot. I mainly do weddings, but I've obviously with COVID and I knocked that on the head for the time being. But I was in a charity shop and I saw a Bellingham camera bag. Bellingham camera bags, like 150, 200 pound bag. And I'm sitting in this, walking into this charity shop, and I'm seeing this bag. I'm like, oh my god, I've always wanted a Billingham. Bought the bag for £5, and with the intention of keeping it, and it ended up not being the kind of right size and shape for the sort of photography and my equipment. So I thought, oh, I'll just sell that on eBay. That's got to be worth a load. And I sold that for £85, I think. Even buying it for £5 and selling it for 85, I didn't think, oh, maybe I should keep doing this and looking in charity shops. So that was probably 10, 15 years ago. And I could have been doing it all the time, but no, I've only been doing this recently. And so I did that. And then the other thing I picked up, I was walking back from town to work, and I saw this cool pair of uh, like bar stools. And I thought, oh, I'm going to build a bar in the garden at some point. Those look cool. Nice, elegant bar stool with a kind of they look sort of 50s, 60s with a curved beach back. They're by a company called Candia. I didn't notice at the time. I just knew that they looked really cool. And I thought I'd buy those. So I paid a £5 each and had to lug these massive bar stools back. Let me see if I can find a picture of them. Candia bar stool. And they're about 150 quid each. See if I can find a picture of a good one. Right, just getting the picture up. There you go. Candia bar stool, £189. I picked up 2 at a £5 each, just because I thought they looked cool. At that point, I didn't know they were expensive. I just bought them thinking they would look really cool in in a bar garden, or a bar that we'll put in the garden. Still haven't built it. I've still got them in the shed, but I quite like them, so I'm keeping them. But they're lovely, lovely chairs. Anyway, yeah. So I've done that, and at no point at that point did I think of reselling. But yeah, it was all through Nick. So it was 2.5 years ago. Oh, Laney's in the chat. Hello, Laney. Loops enable magnifiers on your iPhone under acceptable. Oh, interesting. I might have to check that out. Right. I think that might be it for me. So if anyone's got any other quick questions before the end, I think I've bored you all for long enough, because there's like, oh my God, still 41 people here. You must have something better to do, people. You absolute lunatics. Right. Put a question in the chat if you've got one. Is that cash as in taxi cash? I think it is. I won't mention seahorses. Anyone else got anything in there? Oh, that's a good little tip from Luke. Gentleman's Gazette YouTube channel is good good for high quality clothing research. Yeah, and you don't need to spend any money on research. So whether you're looking at high-end stuff on YouTube, in a magazine, you just go and look at the Selfridges or Harrods shops and look at the men's and women's clothing. Write down the names. That's how you learn what the high value stuff is. And then if you see it, you know that it's worth buying, and you can flip it for more money. So yeah, it's research doesn't cost you anything, just a bit of time and effort. Right. Nax says, I need to get an understanding of spreadsheets. Again, you can learn everything for free. There are so many YouTube tutorials of how to use spreadsheets. Start off simple, but it's part of it is working out what information you need. When I'm a lot of people sort of poo-poo the idea of using spreadsheets, but it just works for me. So when I'm listing anything that I'm listing, I keep a record of it in my spreadsheet. It will tell me the location of the box, which is also in eBay, just in case. I'll put my title in there, my average or approximate buying price, the price I'm aiming to sell it for, and I've got a couple of formulas in there to work out what my approximate profit will be. And then I'll have a space to put in the item number. So once it's up for sale, I'll paste that in there. And I'll have different tabs on there. So for example, once I've sold an item, that goes into my sold tab, and then I can do research on that. So I can then look through, okay, what categories? Oh yeah, and I'll put a category of what item it is. So whether it's pottery in China, whether it's ladies' tops, coats, shoes, boots, whatever it is, I'll put a category in, so I can then see what are my most popular selling categories, what categories sell for more money, what categories are costing me more money, and then I'll work out from there, and it helps me source better. The better I can then source, make better sourcing decisions, the more money I make, basically. Maybe I could do a spreadsheet video, actually. It is not for everybody, but it genuinely helps me make better decisions. So yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at. Okay, I'll have a think about that. That is a little in joke between me and Cash. Cash is a bit of a ledge. God, I must have known Cash for 20 odd years now. He's got me out of well, I've had a lot of taxi rides home from Camden Palace, which is now Coco. So and conversations involving seahorses. So I'll leave you with that thought of me being off my tits, talking rubbish with people in the back of a cab. I think that'll do. Right. Thank you very much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, please give this a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, why the hell are you watching me for like an hour and however long I've been on? That's just daft. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Otherwise, oh, blimey. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, no, it's been fun. Nice to see I've made bewildered pensioners mods. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, thank you for watching. Genuinely appreciate it. But if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, that would be great. Thank you very much. Other than that, don't forget Night's Life has got a live tomorrow. And I think James is away, I think. So ABL Reselling is sitting in and guest. So it is all good. So thank you very much. I shall see you all next time. And be good and try and make loads of money on the weekend. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.